Singapore has emerged as one of the world's most prosperous countries. It's a financial center, an achievement in urban planning, and serves as a model for developing nations. Beyond Singapore's picture-perfect skyline and bustling city center, there's so much about our country to explore. Today, we'll tell you about life in Singapore, interesting facts about Singapore. Number 12. Singapore's culture. Singapore's national language is Malay. There are 4 official languages in Singapore: Malay, English, Chinese, and Tamil. And you'll probably also hear Singlish, the unique mix of Singapore's official languages and English. 75% of Singaporeans are ethnically Chinese, mostly from the Hokkien or Teochew communities. An estimated 6% of Singaporeans are Tamil, heralding from southern India, and about 15% are Malay Muslims. That leaves 4% of Singaporeans with mixed or other heritage. Singapore's flag is red and white, with a crescent moon and 5 stars. The 5 stars symbolize 5 ideals: democracy, peace, progress, justice, and equality, while the moon symbolizes a rising nation. It was founded in 1965. The white suggests purity white, and red denotes the equality of mankind. Singaporeans are very polite, and there's a good reason for that. The government taught manners under the National Courtesy Campaign. While the Manners Campaign has been running since the 1970s, it's got a rebranding in 2001 and is better known now as Singapore Kindness Movement. Male Singaporeans must serve in the military for 1 to 2 years. Singapore has a unique national icon, a half-lion, half-fish creature known as the merlion. You'll find merlion statues throughout Singapore, but don't miss the Sentosa merlion, as you can go inside. Switzerland and Singapore are the 2 top countries in the world for expats due to quality of life. According to some estimates, Singapore has around 1.5 million expats. The country's expat population is split roughly 50-50 between corporate workers and blue-collar domestic or construction workers. The expats also enjoy the widespread public services, low-key tax framework, near no corruption, and high level of competition. Singapore falls 3rd, coming in right behind Switzerland. Number 11. It's a city of not just 1 island, but 64. You might not know it, but Singapore's land area includes as many as 64 offshore islands that surround the main island. These include Sentosa, the largest of the offshore islands, Pulau Ubin, St. John's Island, and Sisters Islands. What that means for visitors: more fun in the sun. Number 10. It's home to the world's first night zoo. Singapore's night safari provides a nocturnal experience like no other in the city. It's also the world's very first night zoo. Opened in 1994, the 35-hectare park features over 1,000 animals in their naturalistic nighttime environment. Hop onto the 40-minute guided train ride for an overview of the park's main attractions. Be sure to amble along the 4 interlinked walking trails within the park for a zoo trip like no other. Number 9. It's a city of man-made waterfalls. According to the Mandai Wildlife Reserve, the first man-made waterfall was built at Jurong Bird Park in 1971. Dropping from a height of 30 meters, it is said to be the tallest waterfall in an aviary to date. That's not all. You'll also find new summits to explore at the Cloud Forest Gardens by the bay. A huge 35-meter waterfall is the centerpiece of the Misty Conservatory, designed to house plant life from the tropical highlands. No trip to Singapore is complete without a visit to the world's tallest indoor waterfall. Housed in the retail and lifestyle complex of Jewel Changi Airport, the HSBC Rain Vortex soars at 40 meters and is surrounded by a lush indoor garden. Number 8. The locals speak Singlish, not just English. Don't be too surprised to hear Singaporeans adding exclamations like la and lay to their sentence. Singlish, their colorful local slang, is an integral part of everyday conversation amongst Singaporeans. Singlish is a collection of colloquial catchphrases and lingo influenced by Singapore's multiculturalism. Other examples include the Singlish term chop, which means to reserve a seat. Locals often chop seats at a hawker center using packets of tissue paper. Singaporeans also tend to refer to strangers such as cab drivers and hawker center stall owners as aunties and uncles. This is an endearing way of addressing older gentlemen and ladies. Do use the terms wisely though, as it can connote the addressee's age. You wouldn't want to accidentally offend a new acquaintance. Number 7. Singapore pioneered the first F1 night race. Held annually since 2008, Grand Prix season Singapore features a gamut of concerts, racing, and entertainment activities for Formula One fans and visitors of all ages. The star event, the Formula One Singapore Grand Prix, also made racing history as the world's first ever Formula One night race. The twisty Marina Bay Street circuit has largely remained unchanged in the years since. The track's brightly lit floodlights also add to the spectacular night views of Singapore. According to Formula One, the Marina Bay Street circuit also boasts more corners, 23 in all, than any other circuits on the Formula One race calendar. Number 6. It's one of the world's greenest cities. This city of skyscrapers is also one that is filled with lush greenery. Nearly half of Singapore's land area, approximately 700 square kilometers, is under green cover. Beyond numerous parks and gardens, there are pockets of undiscovered plant life housed in the most unusual of places. For example, Park Royale on Pickering is known for its hotel in the garden concept and its 4-story cascading vertical garden. That's not all. There's rich biodiversity in nature reserves too. Singapore is home to over 2,100 native vascular plant species. The Bukit Timah Nature Reserve in particular is said to contain more tree species in a single hectare than the total number of tree species found in North America. Number 5. It's home to a UNESCO World Heritage Site and some unique VIPs. Lauded as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2015, the Singapore Botanic Gardens has a history of over 150 years since its founding in 1859. That's more than a century older than modern Singapore itself. Its most popular attraction is the National Orchid Garden, which houses thousands of orchid species known as Very Important Plants, VIPs. Over 200 hybrid orchids in this garden has been affectionately named after visiting foreign dignitaries such as Nelson Mandela, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, as well as celebrities like actors Jackie Chan, Zhou Xuan, and Bai Yongzhang. Another fun fact, Singapore's first botanic garden opened in 1822 on the slopes of the area now known as Fort Canning Hill. Measuring just 19 hectares, the garden closed in 1829 due to rising costs. Its land was then used for various public projects including an Armenian church, a school, and a hospital. Number 4. There are tons of off-the-beaten-track neighborhoods to explore. Besides the history-rich hotspots of Chinatown, Kampong Glam, and Little India, there are more colorful enclaves for visitors to explore in Singapore. You'll find rows of hip eateries and stores along the Art Deco-style buildings of Tiong Bahru, as well as colorful shop houses and traditional food stalls in Chu Chiat Katong. More up-and-coming neighborhoods include Everton Park, which is home to coffee joints, cafes, ice cream parlors, and other must-try foodie hotspots. Number 3. There's always something to celebrate in Singapore. Fret not about finding fun new things to do. There are cultural festivals, major sports, lifestyle, and arts events held all year round in the city to keep you entertained. The annual HSBC World Rugby Singapore Sevens is hosted at the $1.3 billion Singapore Sports Hub. In July, foodies are in for a treat with the Singapore Food Festival, where they will get to savor uniquely Singaporean dishes, as well as the best of Mod Sin, modern Singaporean cuisine, which gives a modern twist to traditional flavors. Number 2. The Lion City may actually have been inspired by a tiger. You may have heard about the merlion, Singapore's iconic emblem. The merlion is a mystical creature with a lion's head and a fish's tail. What you might not know, the merlion was partially inspired by the city's Sanskrit name, Singapura, which means Lion City. This Sanskrit name is thought to have been given by the Sumatran prince, Sainila Utama, who ruled the Temasek, a settlement on the Singapura island during the early 14th century. While hunting for animals, the prince spotted a strange creature moving quickly, which was identified as a lion by an advisor. However, there were no records of lions native to Singapore. It might have been a tiger that he saw, for tigers used to be found in the wild in Singapore up until the 1930s. Number 1. Singapore's food. At a hawker center, you could enjoy a Michelin-starred meal of chicken and rice for as little as $2. Singapore's hawker centers provide some of the best food in the nation and have drawn interest from celebrity chefs including Gordon Ramsay. All that yummy food you're eating has to come from somewhere, and only 7% of the food that's eaten in Singapore is grown locally. There are farms in Kranji, in the north of Singapore, as well as on top of the roofs of condos and shopping centers. The Singapore Sling is an old-fashioned bar favorite. The cocktail, which is made with gin, Cointreau, Dom Benedictine, cherry brandy, Angostura bitters, pineapple juice, grenadine, and limes, was first served in the famous Raffles Hotel in 1915. Fancy a hug. Then head to the National University of Singapore, where you can grab a Coke from a first-of-its-kind Hug Me Coca-Cola vending machine. Some estimates suggest that 2 restaurants open every day in Singapore. That's how much Singaporeans love to eat. An unfortunate reality is that by their 5th year, 40% of those restaurants have closed. Do let us know in the comments if you have visited Singapore before. Please subscribe to Travel the World. Thanks for watching.